What have you been up to?
What, today?
Yeah, today.
Today? Nothing, well, not a lot today.
I know, bloody hell, we're knocking on 10 o'clock, mate.
Yeah, I've woke up, did some star jumps, you know, got a coffee down in it.
Yeah, overnight oats for me, mate. Ready to
Was
go.
it?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking quick 10-mile bike ride in here.
Oh, really? I cheated today. I had one of them Belvita soft bakes.
What?
You ever had them?
No.
Oh,
What are they?
Missing out. They're expensive, though.
What?
It's just like a little oat bar thing,
Yeah.
but they're like posh oat bars.
Sounds processed. Sounds like I don't
Yeah,
want
no,
to
it's
do
not.
that,
It's not the nicest thing.
Nah,
No, they are the nicest thing, but that's the problem. Full of
What
shit.
do you get in them, though?
Didn't read them.
We didn't read what?
Don't want to read it. Don't want
You
to
don't
know.
want to read what it is. What? So
Next
you're
to too
eating-
good when you're eating it. It's
But you
nice.
don't know what you're eating, bro.
Yeah, there's loads of different ones though. The chocolate chip ones go too, mate.
Yeah, chocolate chip that I can get on board with. I love chocolate.
Honestly, I'm going to give you one, and you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I see it.
What? And this starts your day off right? Is that
No, not at all, not at all.
Well, this is what I mean.
But that's what they're advertised as, though. It's like a morning bar.
That's what I mean. I want to be starting my day off right, brother. Not be having a little fucking cookie bar. With a cup of tea.
Are they the one where
You
it's
have coffee
like
or tea with it?
coffee?
Coffee, yeah, got to be.
coffee.
So we're rolling, yeah? Sorry, you just heard a squabble for a minute. So my name is Spencer. I am a ex-seshhead, I'd say. Love getting on the drugs, love getting on the alcohol. Now I am teetotal for about, I'd say, a year. Well, a year off the drugs. There you go. I was seeing you about to fucking butt in there.
No, well,
a year on the drugs, 6 months off the alcohol, and I'm just helping changing lives at the minute. Lifestyle coach, and yeah, that's pretty much everything about me. And I've got my co-host.
Decky do. I literally am still currently partaking in being a seshhead. I'm sort of 50-50. I'm half in, half out, you know. My toes
Yeah, Harvey Price.
I've got a whole leg in the water still, so, you know.
That's all right, bro.
We're coming out.
Yeah?
You know?
You reckon so?
I was submerged to neck, mate.
Tell me what you've been up to in the past 3 months then.
3 months I've done 3 festivals.
3 festivals. Weekend ones or day ones?
2 weekends,
Yeah.
1 day.
Yeah.
And then I've also done like a couple I had the ladies' day at the races.
Okay.
I think I had a night out for a friend. So yeah, no, quite a lot to be honest.
Yeah. Becoming a problem? Or do you feel like you're coming away from it?
It's summer.
Yeah.
So I
Summertime
accept what it
madness.
is, yeah. And obviously I just had a few do you know what it is? I probably joined onto too many plans.
Yeah, you get all excited. You know when it gets to around about January,
Yeah.
February time, you're like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on there?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I went Forbidden, and then when I was at Forbidden,
Yeah.
Park Life was the following weekend.
Yeah.
Weren't going to it. I just said no. Was a responsible adult and said no. And then 2 of the girls that I know were there, and there was like, oh, we've got a spare place in our hotel room and a spare ticket going if you want to
Oh,
come.
yeah? That what time it is it?
That's what time it is. So
Yeah,
I was like, okay, I can't not say no to that. So, you know.
Well, the thing is, yeah.
I mean, who am I?
Yeah,
you know?
but you can say no to it. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
no,
I
you
mean,
can,
like, you had
you
a
can.
big one at Forbidden. Maybe you're like, oh, you know
It's
what?
because I was it was on like the Saturday of a weekend festival where I've been offered this, and it's like,
Yeah.
everything's up here. So you're like, you know
you're
what?
on the high. You're on the high.
high.
I understand. I get that.
Yeah.
What about any hollybobs? Have you
Holly
been on
Bob's?
any
No,
holidays?
not yet. I've got
No.
one due. I've got one due.
Where?
I'm going France, mate, in December.
France. What's that going to be? I hope it's a nice chilled one.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's
Go on, clear your voice. Say what you got to say.
it's a festival. It's skiing. It's skiing, snowboarding
yeah?
week. But there's also a music festival there the whole time.
Of course.
So 6 nights on the slopes and at the rave, mate. So
What have you ever done skiing before? Snowboarding?
never done it before. And you know what? I've heard. So originally I was going skiing.
Yeah.
So there's like 8 of us going.
Okay.
Most of them ski every year. There's 3 of us that have never done it before. So there's obviously skiing supposed to be easy, so we all booked on skiing. But snowboarding just looks cooler, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I've changed mine to snowboarding.
Yeah, no,
So
definitely.
now I'm going to be a lone
A lone wolf.
new bear.
Yeah.
Because the 2 other new ones are sticking to skiing.
Okay.
So I'm going to be snowboarding. But there is snowboarders there, but they're obviously like professionals.
You're going to be steaming
On my arse as well.
Yeah, you're just going to be a snowball at the end of the
Yeah,
hill and that. That's
yeah.
not going to, at the end of the slopes, mate.
So apparently a lot of time you find like these après bars are like higher up on the mountain. So when you finish your night session, your taxi back to your gaff
It's down.
is going down on the slopes.
That's wild.
And there's like no laws, like there's like
No
nothing in
laws.
place. There's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
in place to stop you being leathered.
Yeah, there's no
Skiing or snowboarding down a mountain.
no ski instructors telling you to chill out.
No, yeah, none of that.
That's
So yeah,
wild. That sounds.
look forward to breaking a bone, mate. Yeah.
I hope you don't, mate. 'cause
I
we've
hope I don't.
Yeah, we've got big plans coming up.
We've got big plans coming up.
Big plans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never done skiing or snowboarding before, but I did do when I worked on the farm. I did skateboarding for a little bit. I thought, you know what?
I used to do that as a child,
Yeah,
mate.
I got to do. I got a bit of free time on my hands after work, so I thought I'd take up skateboarding.
Skateboarding.
Yeah, so I thought I'd take that up. It was tough.
It's rough to start in your adult life.
Yeah, definitely.
When
Especially after a day's graft
Yeah,
as
mate.
well.
I could do like 3 tricks as a kid. That was it. That's all I had in my locker. I could just about go down the verts and that.
This is the thing. So we went back to Darwin one time, and there was a hill so steep, and one of the lads went down it. He was like, "You should try it, but you should go halfway down." I was like, "No, I'm going to do it from the top. I'm just going to give it a go."
It's full send.
Oh my God, like the balance and that, like you back off, shaking out and that. Like, he was like, "You got to go lower." I went lower and just came up face
top down?
Yeah, you got to go lower to get your balance. And yeah, I absolutely plummeted.
Yeah,
and
that's bad move, mate.
It was one of them ones, you know, when you can't control yourself and your arms are just like windmills, mate. Yeah.
Did you lose any skin, mate?
I didn't lose any skin. I
You didn't?
stopped, dropped and rolled. You know what I mean?
What,
So
and
I
lost no
literally dropped
skin?
on my shoulder. Yeah. And
Nice, mate. You did well.
Yeah. And then there was another time that I've realised, right, I need to stop doing this, because if my ankle gives out, then I'm not going to be able to pick watermelons anymore. So I tried to do an ollie, and I literally buckled and I rolled my ankle and I squealed like a little bitch. Yeah, I was like, right, that's it. I'm having enough of this because I'm going to be out of work. This was peak COVID as well, so I needed.
Yeah, I didn't know you picked up skateboarding.
Yeah.
How long were you doing that for?
About 3 months, mate.
3 months? Yeah, that's
but
decent.
They only had like a piece of concrete that was probably the same perimeter of this studio, well, about 4 times the size of this studio. And yeah, there wasn't a lot of wiggle room. And there was about 6 lads doing skateboarding as well, so you had to wait your turn. And all them lot were pros, and I was like, gives a go.
Yeah. There's something cool about it though, isn't there?
Yeah.
Something about
Yeah,
skateboarding. It's always been like pretty cool.
I could do the, what is it? Is it pop shove it? Something like that, you know, where you kick it up and then flip the board around.
Yeah, that's impressive,
yeah,
mate.
I don't think I could do that now, but give me a few hours on the board.
Yeah, I'm going to test you. I've got a couple of skateboards in the garage, mate. They're coming out now.
Yeah,
that's it. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Yeah, that was a wild time on the farm though.
Was that in Oz?
In Australia, yeah, living in Mataranka, best time of
Mataranka,
baby. The best
is that
time
just
of my life.
Leicester accent? Is it actually not?
No,
because Mataranka sounds.
Everyone just says Mataranka, baby.
Mataranka.
Yeah, the population of the town is like about 100 people, no joke, and it's 6 hours away from like the biggest town. And then if you want to go and get like shopping or anything, you have to drive 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was picking watermelons there. I picked watermelons there 3 years on the bounce. I went there. The first year I went there, as soon as I got there, I was like, this is my home. You know what I mean? Like,
what is it? Just like horizons?
No, dust.
Oh, really?
It's just dust everywhere. Like, and we go out and pick watermelons. We get out at 4 o'clock in the morning wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We'd jump on the back of like a ute. So that's like a pickup truck.
Yeah.
There'd be like 6 of us lads. I'd be there freezing cold in shorts. I'd like a vest on and I'm chapping in my high-vis vest. I'm looking up and I shit you not, I'm looking up at the stars and there's like 6 or 7 shooting stars. I've never seen stars like it.
Because of lesser light pollution.
And I'm just literally chapping on the back of this. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is life. Like, and anyone else in that situation would have probably hated it. But honestly, being out there and being disconnected from everything.
Was it cold at night then? Like in the nights when the sun's out?
It depended on the time of year. So I spent from April to November there. So at the start of the season when you get there, it's still a little bit wet season, so it's humid, you're sweating a lot. But then as it gets through to June, it's like 26, 27 degrees, perfect weather.
Yeah, that's so.
End of November, it comes into the wet season again, 42 degrees, and it's humid.
Yeah.
Like you're out there picking watermelons, you're working with no t-shirt on, there's no roof on top of on the trailer.
No shade or
nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
nice. What about water?
Yeah, if you ask for it, kind of.
What do you mean?
If you ask for it, like, we basically had a 10 litre on the back of the trailer at all times.
Yeah.
And
it got through that though.
Oh, listen, we got through that.
Yeah.
But then we'd ask the girls, obviously, when the trailers would get changed, because you pick numerous trailers throughout the day, and we'd ask them to obviously fill up the water bottles. Sometimes they just didn't give a fuck, mate.
Yeah. How far away are you talking? Like, so say from, you're saying farm, so I'm assuming barn, right?
Yeah, okay.
So how far are you away from the barn?
Let's put it this
when
way.
you're out on
I was
them
working
fields?
on the biggest watermelon farm in Australia. It was 11 kilometres long.
Bastard.
Yeah, it's big. There
Bastard.
was like 12 fields on there.
What, and is there like more than one team out doing it?
Yeah, so there was like 6 teams out doing it. The first year I did
Teams
it was
of what, like 5?
teams of 6 it was.
6.
So there was teams of 6 of us, and there'd be, like I say, six teams out there picking watermelons, and it'd be tough, obviously, as soon as you get out there in the morning. But obviously, as the day goes by, you get yourself warmed up, and it becomes a lot more easier. But yeah, there'll be 6 of you, 3 you'll be picking, 3 you'll be packing, and then after each trailer's done, you go up and pack. The packing's the easy part.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the packing's the easy part, unless you've got a bodged up shoulder like me. So, but yeah, and then obviously you're picking watermelons, and they have to be put in certain bins like smalls, medium, larges. You have to tap them to see if they've got a good tap. Like I could tell if a watermelon's got a crack.
You're a watermelon wizard, are you?
Yeah, watermelon connoisseur. I know all about it. Some of them have got.
I have to take you shopping with me.
That's it, bro. Listen, I can pick up a watermelon, slap it. I can tell you if it's fresh. I can tell you if it's overripe. I can tell you if it's got a crack in it. If it's got seed cavity. Yeah, they've all got.
11 kilometres though. That's mad.
Yeah, you can tell like how much sugar a watermelon's got in it by the size of the stem.
No, really?
Yeah, and you can tell if it's ready by just looking at the veins of it.
Oh, look at him. Love that.
Yeah, mate. That was the best time of my life, though, honestly.
Yeah.
I've never felt so free. The first year I was there, I think, in total that year, I went 9 months without a phone. And it was the best feeling in the world.
Obviously, you got on with all the lot that you was with.
Yeah, because everyone's in the same boat. Like, you come home, and the only thing you'd be talking about, I say you come home, if you're living on the farm, you come back to the dongers where you'd live, and you'd just be talking about watermelons. It's crazy. Like,
really?
Yeah, everyone's in
Took over your life.
Yeah, there's all the women who work in the shed, they're all bickering about each other, and then all the lads are out in the watermelon field, like, bickering about other teams, because everyone wanted to be the best team at the end of the day.
Yeah. And was there competition going on in that?
Mate, there was competition.
What, getting catty in that?
Oh, it'd get catty. It'd get catty. I couldn't work with certain team members because we just clashed. Like I said, it happened with a lot of people. Like
heat as well, I suppose, makes people irritable.
Oh, heat. And I think what I used to have, this is my diet, terrible. So I wake up in the morning.
Watermelon.
Oh, yeah. Brother, you don't even
lunchtime,
know.
watermelon.
Yeah, everything watermelon. Like watermelon all the time. I've tasted some of the worst watermelons in my life. But my diet consisted of, I think I had Weetabix in the morning. Then I'd get to Smoko, which would be about 10 o'clock. And I'd have a can of cold beans, mate.
Oh, nice.
Mate,
why cold? Can I ask? Why not heat them up?
Right in the middle of the field.
Oh, right, because you was out. I just put them in the fucking sun for a bit.
Bro, you sit inside the boxes that you put the watermelons in, and you're just having your, obviously, eating your watermelon and a cold tin of beans, then you go back out again. Bro, it was the best. What? Nothing got me more excited.
That got you through the day?
Yeah. And then obviously I'd get to lunchtime, we'd go back and I'd have like some chicken and rice or something.
Oh, yeah. Have some actually substantial.
Yeah. But joints would be on rotation, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you now. I've never known lads to smoke so much weed in my life, and obviously put a graft in as well.
See, that's the thing, as well, because I think you briefly mentioned that to me before. For me, smoking weed in the heat, fuck me. Like, it drains the shit out of you. So I don't know how you're sat picking watermelon. How many hours were you out in them?
12 hours a day.
12 hours?
Yeah, 12 hours a day. Listen, you got the tunes blasting, yeah? You're with a group of lads who are like your boys. Yeah. You're literally chilling all day, smoke a couple of joints. Well, some lads would be smoking like 5, 6 a day, but you smoke a couple of joints, you're having a laugh, you're picking watermelons, you're motivating each other. It's like, it's proper good. Yeah. It's good mindset to be in, and you get crazy fit doing it.
Yeah, of course.
All the lads, like, there were lads that turned up like overweight and that, like, after 3 months, they lost so much weight.
Dripped off them, I imagine.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, yeah. Especially on the beans diet, mate.
Yeah. Everyone looked at me wrong for having cold beans.
You were the only one?
Oh, yeah. Bro.
All right,
Italians are looking at me like I'm a fucking weirdo. They're like, Jesus Christ, he's English, man.
Is he all right?
I was repping the ends not very well, to be honest with you.
No, that's all right. No, we like our beans, mate. We're about our beans.
Yeah, beans on toast.
So when you're there, like, what are you doing? So 12 hours shifts finished. You fucking, obviously, I imagine, knackered, done for.
Yeah.
You zooted out, whatever. What are you doing then?
I just read, bro. I know it sounds weird, but I literally just read books. I read books.
You're saying obviously like 100 people, so I can't imagine there's like a nightlife
Oh, mate, that's the best parties I've had in my life.
Oh, right?
Really? Yeah. So we'd get like once a week, we'd get like a day off. Maybe once every 2 weeks we get a day off. So I remember one day I worked 17 days straight, but there was this every day time we had a day off. There was this guy called Sasha. And the word would get round the farm that we're having a day off, and Sasha would just start, because we had to get obviously to the boxes. It'd be on pallets. Yeah. So after we do all the boxes, there'd be loads of pallets left over, and every time we'd have a day off, there'd be like, I'm not even joking, 50, 60 pallets. Sasha would just be getting them, like acquiring these pallets throughout the day. And then he'd make a fire. And I mean, this fire would be like the same size as like a 2-story house.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then once obviously we had the day off, we had a few beers, and obviously we get a little bit more drunk. Sasha goes out with the petrol, and the whole thing goes up without a doubt, every single time it had happened.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's crazy.
Once everyone just gets upon it.
Yeah, everyone gets fucked up.
Yeah. So when you're like, where are you getting your alcohol from, for instance?
So there is like a little... because Australians love the piss, mate. So
Love the piss. Explain what piss is, by the way.
Alcohol, drugs.
Yeah.
No, just alcohol, really. But in each station...
Because you say you're drinking piss, you know, people are like, what's he doing?
Drinking alcohol, basically. Yeah. So in each town, they've obviously got a petrol station because they need a petrol station. And there, they'll serve alcohol. And it's expensive. I think we were paying equivalent to £45 for 24 beers.
For 24?
24 beers, yeah.
£45?
Pounds, it was like $80.
Bastard.
Yeah, expensive.
Like two a pop then.
But you didn't care because you weren't.
But how much you earning though?
So we was earning about. This is what's crazy. So some days you could go out and you just get your basic rate, which should be about $220. But you got to think you're in the middle of nowhere, so you're not spending any money. So you don't mind spending $80.
And you all put up your accommodation.
Accommodations all put up. But if you're on contract, that's where the money's at. So.
What, the amount you get?
The amount you pick. And it was always like everyone was always trying to have a 100-ton day. And for the 3 years I were there, no one ever got a 100-ton day.
100 ton?
100 tons, bro. So there's this one team, like, so basically, first year it didn't happen. Second year, me and my boy, a couple of the lads, we went back, we're like, right, we need a 100-ton day. This is what we're going to do. And it was me, Jack and Martin, and we went out there, and there was a few islanders as well, and them boys can graft, and we went out there and we picked like 120 tons in one day.
Bastard.
Yeah, it was a big old
bastard.
Day. Yeah. Well,
that's one farm.
Yeah, the first trailer we picked it in like 15 minutes, which is like, I think each trailer weighs 6.7 ton.
Fucking hell.
So 3 of us are on the ground picking that. You got to think the amount of watermelons that are going up there. In pack. We picked 21 trailers that day.
And it's funny because obviously I have spoken about this watermelon farm before, but my image in my head, we've never spoken like the size of the field or anything like that. So now it's in perspective. I'm like, fucking hell, that's a lot of fucking watermelons, you know.
But that's the thing. We picked 4 trailers out of just one row.
We're consumers, aren't we?
Consumers, mate. And you don't even want to know the stuff we're putting in the watermelons. Like, it's...
What, feeding that?
Oh, I've tasted some watermelons that just taste like pure chemicals.
Yeah, what are the feeding watermelons?
Listen, I have no idea.
Water? Is it that simple?
They're literally the amount they've got to pump into the fields and that lot, because it's all dust. It's all dust.
Yeah, of course.
So, they're just pumping water. I remember once they wanted to make a new field, so they had to drill for water. They drilled for water, I think 4 times. They lost out. Well, didn't lose out. It was 25,000 for a drill, and they had to drill 4 times looking for water. So 100 grand just on finding water.
Looking for water, that sounds mad, doesn't it?
But it's crazy. So the money of them. So I remember once, so you got the Woolies and Coles, which is equivalent to Tesco's and Asda.
Yeah.
They buy them obviously wholesale. Sometimes it'd be going for like $3 a kilo. Imagine the money on that. Imagine the money that he's making on a 100-ton day.
Fucking hell,
like 300 grand or something like that.
Yeah,
for a day's work just on one team.
Yeah, watermelons are fucking quite heavy, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's an average watermelon weighing?
Oh, mate. So the biggest one we picked...
I'm trying to think in my head. I'm trying to work it out.
So the biggest one we picked was 25 kilos.
Oh, you bastard.
About the same size as this table.
Really?
Huge.
What did you do? All chow down on that?
No. We kept it. We obviously kept it. And
Trophy.
That's what it was. Trophy. Like, the girls would weigh it. Obviously, if you've seen a big one, they'd weigh it and see how big it is.
What, you literally like trying to get it up?
But you got to realise, when you're packing it, you got to feel the weight of it and then put it in the right box. So let's say you got watermelons and they're coming on a conveyor belt.
Are you doing this by hand?
All by hand. Like, conveyor belt. They come in like there'd be loads.
Yeah, I've seen the thing is. I know roughly how they
just
work.
Tapping them in, but you got to tap them, see if they're good, then put them in, tap them, put them in, and you got to obviously see how the field is and see how many watermelons. Obviously, in each field there'll be like small somewhere, there'll be larges, there'll be mediums, just because the amount of water that's got into the valve and obviously feeding the watermelons, and that's how big they are. Crazy.
So this was the dream. Anyway,
I'm living the dream.
Because you did, when all the stuff you've ever done, the highest you've ever spoke of anything was living on that farm.
Yeah. Hands down.
Easily.
In the middle of nowhere, no phones.
Disconnected.
You didn't even have no signal on the farm when you did. The only time you had signal was out in the fields when you was picking watermelons. Everyone's chatting, everyone's talking. The vibes are going nice there. And on top of this as well, they had a natural hot springs.
Oh, really?
So they had a natural hot springs, what was around there. It's like a tourist place, so people go there.
And it hot? Would you want a hot spring when it's hot?
Oh, it's peng, mate. So you got to think,
Because that just in my head, then I'm thinking fucking red hot weather. Why would I want to be in a fucking some hot water?
So my mentality, the second year I went was, I want a 100-ton day. That's me and the boys. We just wanted a 100-ton day. We wasn't bothered about
because it had not been done.
Yeah, well, not been done in a few years, and that's what we said. We just wanted to focus on that 100-ton day, and every time we got a day off. we go down to the hot springs at 6 o'clock in the morning and we watch sunrise, and you'd be there in the warm water and it's nice. And then over the top of us, there's like trees that are coming over the top and there's like cobwebs, and you see all the spiders in the cobwebs, and you're just floating down this natural hot spring. It's incredible, man.
Any D-Rugs involved in any of that?
Oh, yeah, there was. Obviously, the first year was crazy. My first experience on LSD was amazing.
What, was that your first time taking it?
Yeah, first time taking it out in the nature, and yeah, it was incredible. Obviously, because there was such good vibe going around the camp, and yeah, it was the first time I took it, and it was something special.
Well, obviously, people see all the picturesque, like, landscapes and stuff you get there, so I imagine it was absolutely amazing to look out.
Oh, it wasn't even a visual one for me. It was more just like I was really content and really enjoying life, and everyone there was having a great old time as well. But yeah, plus ultimate watermelons, which was crazy. Yeah,
that's mad. Did you ever get sick of them?
Yeah, so the second year I didn't eat any because my teeth started getting fucked up from all the sugar.
Yeah. I never thought that.
Yeah, your teeth.
It's same as anything. I know people that work in all these different like food industries, and they always say, like, "I can't touch it anymore. I can't." You know what I mean? So I assume watermelon. You must be sick of watermelons.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. By the second year, I was kind of. The first year was incredible. The second year was sole focus of just trying to hit that 100-ton. And then the third year I went out, me and Francesca were traveling around Australia, and I thought, you know what, let's just stop off here because we can make a quick, like I say, $5,000 in 4 weeks or something like that.
Was there a lot of like people sort of coming and going?
There was at the start. A lot of people hated it. Everyone hated it to start off with. And then as time goes by, you start getting introduced to everyone. You start becoming a family.
Yeah. So were you there already when you met? And then Francesca came in?
I was there for one season before, and then Francesca I met on the second season. But yeah, the watermelon field was incredible. I mean, if anyone think about going travelling to Australia, what I recommend you do, I know English people who's got a British passport don't need to do their farm work anymore, but it will be the best experience.
Yeah, everyone says the picking fruit's brilliant.
The best experience you'll ever do. And don't go to because I've had some rough times on the farm. So I went to a place called Innisfail, and it was bananas. It was like a rainforest tropical kind of place, and it was raining all the time. Good. Yeah, but me and my mate were like dying to get a day's done, and we were struggling. So we went into this place, and it was like it had a massive like cage gate on the front, so none of the Aboriginals could come in because they love beating up the backpackers and that.
Really?
Yeah, and it was an old kebab shop, and literally there was four big rooms. Bunk beds in each of them. I was in this little room about this big, like no bigger than this room here, and they had 3 bunk beds in there. There were 6 of them in there, 2 aircon units at the top because it fed aircon through the whole of the kebab shop, and it was on 16 the whole time, and that's where I dislocated my shoulder. So I literally had cold air hitting my shoulder the whole time. It was horrible. But we were out there picking bananas. And like you get back from work, and some of the horror stories you hear. One guy got bit by a spider, and it because it was obviously moist and because it was raining all the time.
As well, because all the banana leaves.
Yeah, it never healed. And he got like this big, and his whole tattoo disappeared.
What, from the bite?
From the bite. And then obviously I've only seen 3 snakes in Australia. I've seen 2 in 2 days in Innisfail.
Really?
And they had to pull us out of the field once because it flooded, and they were scared that there was going to be crocodiles in the field. Wild, mate. Yeah. Wild.
Well, already I'm already. My head went one bit when you said about the fence. My head went off a little bit because it's just like the idea of keeping like Aboriginals out. Yeah, it just sounds when you say it like that. It just sounds mad.
It was a backpacker town, so where all the backpackers used to go, and it's a very party place. You don't earn a lot of money there. That's what I mean. So you need to go to an independent farm because that's where you're going to earn money and save money.
Yeah, because it's decent money. What you were saying.
Yeah, decent dough. I'd save about $15,000 every 4 months.
Yeah, that's. I was there.
Which is good money. Yeah. Good money.
It's like being in the army, isn't it? Yeah. They save money because they're not spending it.
That can take you travelling around the world. Yeah. Take you travelling around the world for 6 months, maybe.
But just don't go banana picking.
Just don't do banana picking because you're on about so basically you got to pay $200 a week just on your accommodation, and then on top of that as well, you've got to obviously everyone's on the piss every night in them kind of vibes because it's a shithole, and it's like what else do you do? Yeah.
Well, just rewinding back a little bit as well, back to like the snake situation. You're saying about the snakes and the spider. So I just want to get this ruled out because I know a lot. Obviously, I've got family that live there and all sorts, and they all say the same thing: is this idea that Australia is just full of creepy crawlers. The way I've been told it, and I'm saying it for you to confirm it. Yeah, is that you don't see them any more frequently than you would here. The only difference is they're just a lot fucking bigger when you do.
Well, this is what I mean. I don't know. 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 I I didn't see any. Like,
Yeah, exactly,
I seen them. I seen them on the Innisfail where I was picking the bananas, and I was like, I'm fucking off from here. I was there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Another farm I was at as well was peak COVID, and so there's 7 states in Australia, and all the states were locked off from each other.
Yeah.
And on the day that they locked it down, me and my friend Ella went to the airport to go and try and get up to Queensland, because that's where all the farm work was at the time. And we got there, checked in our bags, and they gave us our bags back and said, nah, you're not getting on the flight, you got to go back home. So we had to go all the way back to Melbourne. Because the lockdown, they locked it down on that day.
Oh, really?
So we were rushing around, we're like, right, we'll book this flight, we'll get over there. When we get over there, we'll find work and we'll be all right and we'll save some money. On the way to the airport, checked in our bags, and they were like, yeah, no, you're not coming on the flight. We've got to give you your bags back. Gave us our bags back. We went home, sad as fuck. I stayed there for another 3 months. COVID kind of eased off because it was a stage where no one knew what was happening.
Yeah.
So they opened a few of the borders again, and we were like, right, let's get in the car and we'll just drive. We drove to Sydney, got a flight to Queensland because we found a job. We had to get an exemption from Sydney to Queensland so we could get across the border. There were police everywhere. Got there. Turned up the first day, this woman put me in a shack and it was horrible. It was freezing cold. My shoulder was killing. And I was just like, this is not the one. Gone out to picked for 6 hours, lettuces I was picking, freezing cold, raining. You know how much I got paid for the day?
What, picking lettuces?
£30. I got paid
really?
like $60, so $10 an hour.
Is that anyway, or is that because of the
No,
circumstances?
it's just because that was just all piece rate. So you didn't get a flat rate for that.
Okay.
That was all piece rate, and I was like, this is horrible. I can't believe this is happening. And after like 2-3 weeks, so hold on, wait a minute, sorry. So yeah, I was also paying $200 a week to stay there, and I was probably getting paid after tax $350 or something like that, $360. So I only had $160 to live. To spend on what I wanted to spend on. I was living on noodles and fucking bread and rice, and it was a tough old time.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah.
But after like 4 weeks, I got the phone call through. They were like, we want you back in Mataranka. And I was like, book that flight.
Back to Mataranka.
Oh, yeah. Back to Mataranka. And this was the craziest thing, yeah. So during this, obviously COVID's going on. I need to get another exemption to get back up to Darwin because it's a new state, a hot state as well. It was so fucking nice there. They had it on lock, really. They only had 29 cases while the rest of the states had like 1,000 cases and that. So they're very tight-knit. Got the exemption, rang up the farm manager because he knows me. And he was like, I'm going to leave my car in Darwin and you can drive, which is a 6-hour drive to the farm. I'm pumped, I'm gassed, I'm so happy. I brought myself some new CDJ decks. So I was like, yes, I'm going to get there. I'm just going to DJ. We're going to have a good time. So I got the exemption, went to go and stay in a hostel tonight because I didn't want to brave it and drive in the dark. Woke up in the morning, drove there. Spent my last $2,000 on these decks as well.
Yeah.
Drove there, I'm driving, and I've gone past a police station, but I am fucking speeding like no other because I'm so excited. I wasn't even looking at the dial. And a cop car stopped me, seen me.
No.
He's pulled me over, he's gone.
What were you doing, roughly?
I was doing like, you got to realise, these are long roads, okay?
Yeah.
I was doing like 130s in 100.
Yeah.
And these are long roads, and he came up to me, he was like, can I have your licence? Couldn't find my licence, gave him my passport. I just rolled down the window, he's like, where are you coming from? I was like, I've just came from Brisbane, Queensland, and I'm going to Mataranka. And he was like, okay, did a bit of a run on the test, test my passport and that lot, came back, he was like, I could take you to court for this, but I'm not going to. Gave me my passport, I thought, that's a bit weird. And then someone came and picked me up.
What, he didn't tell you why?
No, he didn't tell me why.
So something must have flagged up then.
Okay, so this is what I mean.
Okay, where we going
So he's gave me a passport. He's like, you're going to have to get someone to come get you. And bearing in mind, I was only an hour out of Darwin, so someone had to come get me 5 hours from the farm, which was not a good start.
Not ideal.
They were pissed, mate. They were pissed.
Not ideal, that.
So after I've rang someone to come pick me up, they came pick me up. Obviously I had to do 2 weeks quarantine, but I did it on the farm in these dongers. And it was no signal, no internet, no nothing. I was by myself, just had my decks. I was spinning tunes.
Literally on your own computer. Yeah.
Spinning tunes for like 2-3 days. I kept getting like missed calls and that because they drop in and out of signal. I got a missed call from the police. I was like, fuck, what's going on? And they were like, we need you to come and quarantine in one of our facilities because the flight you was on from Brisbane to Darwin, someone had COVID in a 2-seat radius of you. So, and this is when COVID was all up in the air. I was like, fucking hell. I thought I was going to get a fine or something like that. I was like, I'm just going to ignore the call. And then they rang the farm to tell the farm. They had a police escort come get me. They came and got me. Oh, listen to this, but you got
to take you to quarantine.
Took me to quarantine, but listen, right, the quarantine I was in at this moment, it was just a bunk bed, yeah, and I mean the desert. There's nothing else. Nothing else. A bunk bed and desert, no signal, no nothing. And I was only 3 days in, and I was kind of losing my mind as it is.
Yeah, fucking hell.
They came and got me. They took me to this hotel, and I thought, oh my god, it's going to be like horrible. They took me to a 5-star hotel, bro. Took me to a 5-star hotel. 3 meals a day. I was having like lamb shank. I was having steaks every night, bro. The dinners went off. Breakfast, full English breakfast.
Hey!
I literally had my deck set up. I was spinning tunes. I was watching Netflix. I was like having it. And then they come check on me every like 2-3 days. They're like, "Do you want anything? Do you want anything?" And I was like, you know what? Yeah,
There's some steak and caviar.
Yeah, I was like, can you get me some Tim Tams? And they are staple fucking.
I've never had them, but I've heard about these.
These are staple biscuits in Australia. They pop off better than penguins, and that is a fact.
They're supposed to be similar to penguins, aren't they?
Listen, they don't have penguins. Don't have nothing on these. These are the best. Yeah. But anyway, I said to him, I was like, can you get me a couple of packets of penguins and then some cigarettes as well, please? And he was like, yeah, sure thing. I've gone to give him a card. He was like, no, don't worry about it. So literally, I had people. They brought me like cigarettes and fucking Tim Tams, and I was just chilling. But it was their fuck.
You like fucking
swindled it.
Yeah, how you managed that? It ended up like some shake or something.
Yeah, swindled it. But this is the thing. What you need to realise is it was their fuck up. That plane was stacked. The plane was so full. No one had masks.
So they've had to do that for everyone on that plane.
No, just who was in a 3-seat radius.
Okay.
I might have been sitting next to him, but I didn't even get COVID as well.
Nice.
And then I went back to the farm and did my thing, and it was good, bro. It was really good.
The thing is with Australia, they were, like you said before, they would bob on it straight away. From word go, they clamped down, locked down straight away, got serious straight away, but it didn't last nowhere near as long. So we had like 3 years of it here.
Yeah, I didn't really. What was it like for you though? Obviously, COVID.
Different for me. I'm NHS, ain't I?
Oh yeah.
So I was at work every day.
Yeah.
If anything, I was working more. I was spend 60-hour weeks.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Hero.
60-hour weeks. Absolute hero. Had to be.
Yeah.
And you know all I got for it? A clap on a Thursday.
Clap on a Thursday, mate.
That's what they did. You know what? Most patronising thing ever. Obviously, I just made a joke out of it. Yeah. For me, I was just like, obviously, you got to make a laugh out of that.
You're not too serious.
No. I'm not a serious bloke. But I'd text the lads, like for instance, in the group chat, I'd be like, you're all fucking on that doorstep clapping for me, because they're all sat at home getting government grants to sit at home and stuff like that, or getting paid by the companies, and there's twat got to fucking pick up more hours because the staff's dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Because loads of them were leaving. You had nurses, doctors, mate, so many people were leaving the hospitals because they just couldn't be asked for it. Because you're talking summertime, full fucking suit, water repellent sheet, like similar to these hazmat ones with a big fucking hooded, it's called a Draeger mask, big fucking like one of them masks with like an aircon unit going down, so it's like pumping like fresh air into you.
That's crazy.
Fucking horrible though, mate, because you know, to the point where your forearms, you know the ones where your forearms are sweating?
Yeah,
you can feel it stick, like everything, the whole body sweat. Disgusting, mate. Every day. Every day.
Mate, fair play to you.
Yeah.
Real hero.
Yeah.
I'll give you a clap.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks for that, brother. But then in the end, I mean, what did I get? I think we got a 1 day bonus annual leave.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did you do with that 1 day bonus? So much you can do with that day.
So much you can do with that day, man. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I probably did nothing with that, to be honest. I think I carried it over, to be honest, because this was a problem.
Yeah.
Because there was lack of staff, we were picking up extra hours. So when it come to annual leave, we couldn't take it because they couldn't afford to let any of us go. So they were letting us all carry it over.
Okay.
So I took some at daft like 70 hours over to my next year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which made the next year nice, and then but then it kept happening, and it was just a bit long. But you know.
But yeah, no, that's good.
But yeah, I got a badge as well, mate. Got a little badge.
Got a badge?
Got a little badge.
Yeah, like a Blue Peter badge. Only certain people.
Yeah. It was like a star that said NHS in it. And it had like a rainbow coming off it. Yeah.
Nice.
I've kept it in the packet because I thought I'm not gonna. Obviously, I ain't gonna wear it. Obviously, I ain't gonna wear it. But I thought, you know what? In 20, 30 years' time, if this does end up being like the Black Plague or like this big thing, I've got a little badge. Mate, that's worth money.
It'd be worth dough, bro.
Worth dough.
50p's for it.
But in the end, it's a laughable moment in history now, isn't it?
Yeah, no one talks about it.
No one's going to talk about that in 20 years. The only time I'm going to talk about it is in like, what was that?
Yeah. What was the case, obviously, because they said that the NHS workers needed to get their jabs, and if they didn't, they wouldn't have a job. What was it like
It changed. So it was, mate, at the time though. So it come in, we got this, but everyone got given a letter. Yeah. So not sent to your address, it come in and they gave everyone a letter.
Just so they know it got to you, mate.
And it was like a big big, like, I can't remember half the stuff, but it explained everything about the vaccine, what was in it. And to be honest with you, there was a lot of weird stuff in it. I'll have to dig it out for you one day, because it said stuff like that it had something to do with like an embryo from a chimp or something, like all these like ingredients that were in this thing, and it was fully broken down to us. It was mental. But basically, and then there was a huge section of it that was saying like, you have to do it by this date. If you're not doing it by this date, you will be finger. But I think they were calling bluffs basically by doing that, because what they thought, which did happen, because I'll admit, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any chance. For me, it was, I could give or take it. I ain't bothered if I have it, I ain't bothered if I don't have it.
How's it going to affect your life?
How's it going to affect my life? I got this letter.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, I got this letter, so I was like, I'm going to get it, because obviously I'm not proud enough to lose my job over a fucking vaccine. So I went and got the vaccine, got the booster, because that's what you had to get. You had to get the booster and the vaccine. Did that. Most people did it, but then what happened is there was loads of people like, you conspiracy well, no, I don't want to call them conspiracy theorists, because it's a theorist. They're a theorist, right? Okay, all these theorists, saying all these negative things about it, so they didn't want to take it. And it was very like, you had people leaving.
Yeah.
Which in the end, I don't know what they did in the end, because it'd be nice to know. I'd like to know whether they went and tried to get a tribunal to try what happened to sue, because at the end of the day, they were forced out of the job. But loads of them stuck to the ground and they just waited it out. And in the end, they revoked it, because they realised they were going to lose something daft. Like, I think it was the digit we were given was something like 500,000 members of staff.
What?
Had put the foot down. Across the country, across the country,
Of course.
Across the country, putting the foot down, saying, I'm not having this vaccine.
Big up to the people.
Big up to those people. Respect. So they, in the end, they had this date, and I'm not joking, it was literally probably 4 or 5 days before this deadline.
Yeah.
They turned around and basically said, we're not forcing you to have it anymore.
Little bitches,
mate. Because they realised they can't because it was more, they can't afford to lose the staff.
Yeah.
If they could afford to lose the staff, if it was a smaller number, they'd have done it.
They would have done it.
Yeah, 100%. But then you had, obviously, we've got a bloke at work. He's a famous theorist.
Yeah.
He loves. Yeah, I don't like conspiracy, because some of them are right, aren't they?
Yeah,
some of them are wrong, some are right. So it's a theorist. You can't conspiracy.
That's a big word for me, mate. With my big tongue.
Yeah. I just feel like when you put conspiracy before it, you're insulting them.
Yeah.
It's an insult, and I don't want to insult these people, because some of the things that come out with end up being right. So but he proper sticks it to the man. He's one of them.
Yeah, knows it.
Knows his stuff.
Got a lot of time to be reading shit.
Yeah, he's reading into a lot of these things all the time, and he was a spokesperson for it throughout it all. When the day when it come through, like, you ain't gonna have it, he's like, I fucking told you. I fucking told you. He's going around the room. I got pointed at. You fucking had this vaccine. Watch you all. You're all gonna drop dead in a year's time.
Chill out,
I'm still here.
Yeah, still here to tell the tale.
Yeah, I'm still here to tell the tale. I mean, there has been there was a lot of blood clots that have been related to the vaccine. But listen to me here. If you put a needle into your arm, that can incur in a blood clot. Law of averages said if you're going to do millions and millions of vaccine on the spread that they put out, some people are going to get blood clots.
Okay.
That is literally, just saying that. I'm not saying that changes any...
It sounds like you're with them guys.
No. I'm just saying, because there is other things that have been linked to it.
You don't sound like a theorist to me, bro.
I just wanted to get that over the line, because people keep hearing about the blood clots and stuff, and they're like, it gives you blood clots. It's like, but put any needle going into your arm. If you had a flu jab, if you have blood taken from you, something could happen. Of course it can.
Yeah. I mean, in Australia, that's where I was, obviously, when COVID happened. It got to the point the vaccine started getting rolled out. I was in Perth. I was working as a brickies labourer. And we walked on site one day, and they were like, if you don't get the jab, then you're not coming to work. And then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, whenever it was, whatever cut-off day it was, I walked in, I didn't get the jabs. And they were like, you got your jabs, you got your serial code, your barcode. I was like, no. And then they were like, well, you're not coming to work. So I had to go get the jab. And the jab rocked me like I had COVID. I didn't have COVID.
Mate, the jab fucked me up, Both, and the booster. I was unable to lift arms up at times for 3-4 days.
You get ill though, bro.
Yeah, I get ill.
Bro. You get ill, mate.
I do get ill.
Yeah, you're like at death's door when you
I'm one of those people, if I contract anything serious, I'm fucking gone, mate.
Yeah.
I'll be out.
When you had the flu in that.
Never got COVID, by the way.
Never got COVID.
Worked in the hospital throughout the whole thing. Literally, handling COVID patients didn't get it once.
That's because you had them hazmat suits on, bro.
No, because even when because at first it was happening before we had that in place.
Yeah.
It was happening after we had that. We're still got it now. There's a leak happened at Glenfield Hospital now. We've literally had.
Are you allowed to be saying this shit, bro? You
well,
might.
it's what it is. It's not opinion. It's facts. I can say facts. I can't say opinion, sort of thing. But there's a good. In the last, I want to say month, 2 months, we've had at least like 10 cases amongst staff.
Yeah.
Not amongst patients, amongst staff.
But that's what I said. I said it on Instagram the other day.
Yeah, no, but
There's a flu going
we spoke
about,
about this recently, and you asked me, and I said I've not heard anything of COVID. And then all of a sudden, I'm speaking to someone the other day, and they was like, "Oh yeah, so and so was off it," and they were off it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think it was a thing anymore." And then there was like, "Yeah," and then one of our members of staff got it. Literally, like last week, there was off all week, and there's been like 3 or 4 out of our department go off with it now.
When, like I say, when I got that vaccine, mate, I got rocked. I was like, I had to have a day off work. I had 2 days off work.
Yeah, mate.
Because of it.
We were allowed. We were like told we could have the days off because it was so bad.
Yeah.
It's like a known thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But I like I said, I put out on my Instagram story the other day, like, is anyone else feeling like they've got the flu, or is the flu knocking about? And I had like 40 people just like, yeah.
Mate, I've just been ill.
Yeah, I've just been ill.
I've just been laid up ill. I've only just got over that fucker.
But that's it. No one knows if it's COVID because no one gets asked to
No,
test
but this is
for
the
it.
thing. I didn't think to test for it because I didn't know that this. I found this out early this week about all these members of staff, and I'm thinking what we had, what you gave me.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm saying you gave me. I was fine. You was ill, and then I was ill. You weren't no more. You literally passed it on, but
passing the blame.
Yeah, no, it could have been.
You work in a hospital, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you could have got it from the hospital.
And
why are you blaming me?
But maybe I took it to the hospital. Whoever thought that?
Maybe you passed it on to me and then I gave it to you.
Or maybe you gave it me and I took it to the hospital and spread it around the hospital.
Don't say that, bro.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
We're
gonna cut this bit out.
Yeah, don't be saying that, putting guilt on my head. You horrible man.
No, but seriously, but to be fair, and I said this at work, I said I wouldn't have thought to test, A, because COVID ain't relevant to me anymore.
Yeah.
But B, I didn't have any throat problems.
Oh.
Mine was all head and cold and just feeling tired. Don't know about you.
No, I was rocked. I was rocked, to be fair. But still got on with my
Did
day.
you ever get COVID?
I did get COVID, and COVID was horrible. Like,
Was
I don't
it?
know. Like,
You had it bad? Because some people didn't even know they had it.
I got it bad. So Francesca got it first, and I was like, I know I'm up next. If she's got it, I'm seeing her every day. I'm with her every day. And I was like, what's it feel like? Because I'm like, do you feel okay? And she's like, I got it 2 days after her, and it fucking rocked me. I was like, no wonder people are dying of this fucking thing. Like,
my mum and dad didn't leave their bed for like 2-3 days, mate. Like, I've never seen them both like that. They were laid up. And I'm just like, go and work, see in a bit.
Mate,
unreal.
It's rocked. I was rocked. And then obviously after COVID, there's after effects of it. You couldn't walk upstairs or anything.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's what I mean, yeah.
Collapsing.
People are still struggling now. Like, we've got people that are coming in like with respiratory issues, and it's all been linked to it. It's not because of like, because a lot of the time, this is the thing as well. When people get ill, a lot of the time they'll just think, because the NHS have pushed out this thing of, if it's not necessary to go to the hospital, don't go to the hospital and all this. Just stay at home. People. So what you get is you've got the opposite. People taking that too far the opposite way. So now when people are fucking seriously ill, they just lay up at home still.
That's a typical bloke thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
and just
a bloke's have a broken arm, be like, oh no, I'm fucking
it'll be alright. It'll go back. Give it a few days. It'll be alright.
Yeah. Standard. Oh my god. Listen to this. When I was working as a British labourer once, I was out with this new gang, and they were fucking horrible to me. Like, I was getting bullied left, right, and centre by them. But they sent me out on this job with this old lad, and we put some wrong bricks in the house in certain places because he thought it was meant to be patchy of these bricks. Turns out they were meant to be for a pier. Anyway, we had to chop them out with a 9-inch blade grinder. If anyone knows what that is, it's just a spinning blade that is pretty fucking dangerous.
Ooh.
So I'm going. He
knows his stuff.
Yeah, I know my stuff. So I'm going around cutting out these bricks, and it got to the point it got a bit high and it started jolting out. And I was like, you know what? I said to him, I was like, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore because it's too high. And obviously, old fella didn't really give a fuck seeing me as a young lad, and was like, he don't know fucking anything.
He's wet behind the ears.
Yeah, wet behind the ears, mate. 5 minutes later, because I thought he weren't doing it. 5 minutes later, he came around the corner. He was like, I need to go to hospital. I was like, what? He's like, I've cut my arm. I was like, let's have a look. I'm telling you now, from where your wrist starts up to his elbow, he cut a chunk out of his arm. I could see his bones. I could see all the tendons been singed off.
Yeah,
I went into panic mode. I ripped off my best t-shirt. I wrapped it round. Probably not the best idea because it was full of dust from the. I was just like, I was on it. Like, it was full of dust from the bricks.
You like, this is my moment.
This is my moment. Literally wrapped it round. And then the only vehicle that we had was like a 3-meter flatbed, and it had a massive trailer on the back. And I'm trying to think, it's about 7 meters long. And I'm just getting in the car, put the foot down, driving to the hospital, trying to find where our hospital is. And I'm bombing, and then I've looked out the back, and then there's tools fucking dropping about everywhere. I've had to stop, close it back up, pulled into the emergency office, and had to go into the main town to get there. It's like at the Royal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rocked in there, dropped him off, and then I didn't see him again. He didn't die, by the way.
We know that. We know that for fact.
Yeah, no, facts. We know that.
Okay. If you got sepsis or something.
Nah, but this is the thing. So the job that I was working on was like workaway job. So he lived in Queensland, which is about 7-hour flight away from where we were. But he had like stitches all in his arms. But when you have a look at, like, so when I seen the cut, it was like this big. By the time he had his stitches up, it was like this big. But all his tendons got reattached, and he got movement back in his fingers again. So
my dad did that. He had a Barney with my mum.
Yeah.
He's leaving to go around his mates, and he's had a Barney. And my mum's going to like shut the door behind him to say like, fuck it off.
Yeah.
And he's forgot something, so he's gone to turn around and pushed on the glass, like as in to push the door open. She slammed it. His hand went through the glass. And all the glass fucking shredded all down. His arm went straight through it, shredded all the way down. Cut all his tendons and that. He said like, the blood was just fucking spraying out. My mum, obviously, she's like headless chicken, mate.
Yeah.
She's not.
She works in the NHS.
She didn't rip her t-shirt off and tie that round. She weren't doing that. She was running around like this.
But this is the thing. There was no blood. There was no blood because the heat of the blade singed his tendons. So there was
none at all.
No blood. I was literally just looking inside his arm.
I mean, what tends to happen is because of the shock. A lot of the time, if you do something like that, it won't bleed straight away. But it will bleed. Eventually, the blood will start coming out.
I was there, like, bombing, and he's, like, got his hand up like that. I'm like, can you move your fingers? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, my fucking God. I was like, this dude's fucked. He's a bricklayer as
bastard.
Well. But you got to think, you're not allowed 9-inch blades on site. So I don't know about the compo. I bet he got some decent compo. I think that's probably why I didn't meet him again, because the gaffer probably didn't want me to meet him, because I'd probably claim on something.
Yeah, or they gave him enough money he could fucking retire and just settle.
Well, definitely, he's not going to have much movement in his hand. The thing is, as well, we was obviously chatting throughout the day. He was like, yeah, fucking hell, I hate this bricklayer. I think I'm going to go back.
You fucking planned it.
Oh, yeah.
This cunt's gone behind the wall and gone like...
This is it. This is my move. I'm going to have a few days off with this.
Yeah.
But... yeah, no, he was saying to me, he was like, no, I'm going to work back on the mines and that. I've had enough of it. I felt sorry for him, to be honest with you. Obviously, he had to stay. He couldn't get a flight or anything, so he had to stay down in Tasmania for a few weeks. For obviously.
Big up the Taz.
Yeah, Taz, yeah. You been to... Oh, you ain't been off?
Never been, but that's home stomping ground, isn't it?
Yeah, Tasmanian Devon.
The granddad.
Yeah. Tasmania is really nice. Super couples place. It's like a mini New Zealand, that's what they call it. But I went there just to graft. I was earning dough there. Yeah. Like, we were doing like fly in, fly out work. I do 60 hours weeks, and I was getting paid like $3,000.
Bastard.
So it's like
what's that?
17
farm work? Or?
No, that was brickies labouring. That's what I mean. The money in Australia is crazy.
But the cost of living is expensive there, right? If you were to live in like a city where it's built up, because that's what I hear. I hear the cost of living is like fair. That's why the wages
cost
are
of living
decent.
here is wild at the minute.
Here is crazy.
What I'm saying is, you go over to Australia, you can either go in the city and enjoy yourself, be amongst it all, or you can go to the outback and you can save some money, then go travel Australia. But it's still a better way of life, and you can save money doing it. Tell me where in England you can go and save 15 grand in 4 months, 5 months. Tell me where you can do that. Yeah. You can't.
Not the NHS, mate.
Not the NHS. No. After all them claps and that lot, don't they give out coins or anything?
Mate, we've got to fucking pay. The joke is we've got a pay rise of 3% for COVID.
Jeez. And then inflation
went up. Which was a reward, by the way. And then inflation. Well, no, then national insurance went up.
Yeah.
Then they finally brought that back down, but then they brought everything else up. Yeah. Now the cost of living's gone up. We got given a 5% rise and a 1 lump payment. So I got 1,600 quid lump sum and 5% rise, which is still well under the inflation rate. So literally, like, they're just constantly mugging us off, mate. It's a joke. It is a joke. Yeah. Underworked and
say it with your chest, bro.
Understaffed and underpaid, mate.
The NHS is bloody bollocks, though, isn't it? Bless it.
It's brilliant if and when you need it.
Yeah.
If you, I've learned with a lot of patients, they'll always come in and they'll say, you know what, I've got to be honest with you, mate. before I come in here, I used to think like fucking like NHS and like you had the same opinion where it's like, oh, it's not. And you do hear a lot of people like, especially like younger people, because we don't use it as much.
Yeah.
We sort of see it as, oh, they take all this fucking money out of my tax, and you know, I'd rather have private and blah blah. And then when you actually need it and they're in there, they're like, yeah, it's completely changed my opinion, because you realise how much you actually need.
Yeah.
How much drugs, like attention, like equipment, all this stuff that you just as one patient you need, and it costs a fortune. We've got a patient in there. Not saying anything about it, but she's been in there for over 7 months.
Yeah.
In intensive care.
Yeah.
With like, you've got to think like, I think there was a statistic, I wish I knew the numbers, where it costs like X amount for each patient a day, and it's like you're talking thousands.
But the NHS is supporting that, and obviously,
and that's being supported by the taxpayer.
That's good. That is good. That's what I mean. Big up the NHS.
Yeah, you don't. Basically, what I'm saying is, until you actually need hospital, if something happens to you, you're laid up in hospital, then you'll be like, okay, I'm glad the NHS is there. But before that, you're gonna have a shit opinion of it, because it is. You know,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, mate. But it was funny, you know, like just quickly going back to the COVID thing. It popped to me. It was making me laugh. Because at first, people were so fucking scared of it, and everyone was flapping so much, that what you was getting was people were going off with COVID symptoms. Yeah, so they were just getting like a tickle in the throat and getting a week off and not having to prove it. But what you had was people were taking the piss with it. Like people were saying, oh yeah, I've got... And because they were so scared, everyone was so scared, and it was so like caught us off guard, this whole COVID thing, that people were like, oh, don't let him in, he can't come in, he's got a cough, he has to have a week off. Then they brought in the testing kits.
Did they work? Like obviously the testing kits, are they what?
They're not 100% accurate. That's all I'm going to say.
Like pregnancy test.
Yeah, basically, I'd say they're probably just like they'd be under a pregnancy test. So it's kind of like they are. Majority of them are going to be correct, but they're not 100%. But what you was getting, mate, is no names mentioned, but you'd get someone that actually would test positive. And they'd be having to test every day and send in their proof every day of their test, and they got and then they would then give those tests to the same thing to someone to get a week off to then send them in. So,
hear that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
fucking the system up.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You know what they're like, man. Taking the piss.
You got to play the system.
You got
the government take
it to the man, mate. Take it to the man. Take it to.
Yeah. I don't really know. Should we?
Yeah, we can about wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been the LESHHHGO podcast. My name's Spencer.
I'm Declan.
Thanks for listening or watching.
Yeah.
LESHHHGO.
LESHHHGO.